Well, boys and girls, welcome. My name is Miss Kim, and I work at the Xenia Community Library. And I'm here today to show you one of our craft programs. This is how to make Kool-Aid Play-Doh. So what you'll need for the recipe is you'll need 2.5 cups of flour, which I have my flour right here. And then you'll need a half a cup of salt, which we have the salt. You'll need 2 packages of unsweetened Kool-Aid powder mix. So today I have orange, but you could get whatever color or flavor that you like. You're not going to really eat it, so doesn't really matter about the flavor, but the color is what you want. And then you'll also need 2 cups of boiling water, which we'll put this in the microwave when it's time here. And then you'll need 3 tablespoons of oil. So I have some oil here too that we'll put in. So we'll start our recipe. I have a little bowl right down here, if you can see, and I will put my 2.5 cups of flour in there. So I'm going to get the flour. Before you start doing any of this, you need to make sure that you wash your hands because you want your hands to be clean when you're doing this. So I'm going to level off. That's 1 cup. And then we need our 2 cups, right? And then we need a half a cup. So I have a half a cup here. I'm gonna level off that flour, put that right in the bowl. Okay, then it says, the recipe says you need a half a cup of salt. So I'm gonna bring that half cup right back here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the salt right in here. That really seems like a lot of salt, doesn't it? I don't think I would want to have that much salt on my French fries. What about you? All right, so we're gonna dump that right in. So you mix the flour, the salt, and then you mix the Kool-Aid. So I'm gonna take my 2 Kool-Aid packets here, just gonna open them up, put it right on into that bowl. There we go. Ooh, smelling very orangey. Very nice. Okay, that was 1. And then we're going to put in 2. Okay, and so then what it says to do is to mix that up. So I'm going to mix this up until it's well blended. Make sure you get all of your salt in here. I don't really see any change in color. I know it's hard for you to see on there, but there's not really any change in color yet. So we'll have to wait and see. The next thing that you do is you go ahead and you boil your water. So I'm going to put the recording on pause for a second while I boil the water. I think when I tried it before, it took about 4 minutes to boil water in the microwave. So I will be right back with you. Okay, I'm back. The water is boiling. You have to kind of just play with it if you're putting it in the microwave to kind of see how long it took. That time it took about 5 minutes. My grandma always used to say, a watch pot never boils. So you might want to walk away from it and come back if it's in the microwave. If it's on the stove, though, you want to stay there and make sure that it's not boiling over. Okay, so to our boiling water, our 2 cups of boiling water, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil. All right, so let's count. 1, there's 1 tablespoon. Here's 2 tablespoons. You might want to have someone help you do this because this water is rather hot. And if you put your face over it, maybe you could get a facial while you're here too. So you want to make sure that you don't burn yourself with that hot water. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid back on this so I don't forget. And then the recipe says to pour the water into the flour and Kool-Aid mixture. Can you see it changing colors? Look at that. Look at that. All right, so we get all of our water in there. We're going to stir this up. And you want to stir kind of carefully because we don't want it spilling out of the bowl, huh? So we're going to stir this up. This is like a craft and a recipe, isn't it? Something that you can do, and then you can use the Play-Doh many, many times. right? Fun to do inside, or when it's finished, you could take it outside and make things with it too. So we gotta make sure that's hot. I don't want to do that again. Let me get a spoon here to get this off of, because it's all kind of clumping on there, right? And we want to make sure that we get everything stirred up so that we have as much Play-Doh as we possibly can, right? Just because we need to. It's something we could make with orange Play-Doh. Let's see, if we use our imagination, right? We could make a sun. A sun would be orange. What else would be orange? Maybe a tiger or a lion. That would be orange. Okay. That would be orange. Of course, an orange, that's an easy one. Oh, I know, a basketball. We can make a basketball with our Play-Doh. All right, so that's pretty well mixed together. But what the recipe says to do then is to wait until this cools, and then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna dump it on our, I have a little piece of parchment paper here, and then we're gonna knead it kind of like you do with bread. You kind of smoosh it together and knead it around and make sure everything gets even more mixed. So we'll do that in about a couple minutes. I'm gonna put you all on pause for a second while this cools down. Okay, I'm back. It feels, it's a little bit warm to the touch, but it's okay, you can still start kneading it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it out of the bowl. Make sure we get all this good stuff in here, right? Like when you make cookies, you wanna get all that from the bottom of the bowl. There's still a little bit more down here, a little bit of crumbs that needs to be worked in. So you just start kneading your Play-Doh. This also helps to work the color all the way through the Play-Doh. If you want, you can tear it apart and knead just sections of it to make sure you get it nice and mixed. That's a good idea. Or if you have brothers or sisters and you want them to help, you can have them take a little ball of it and mix it all together too. It still smells very orangey. It's good. It smells good. All right, so you've got it all mixed together, all kneaded like that, and then you can start making your lovely creations. It does make a lot of Play-Doh as well, so you could cut the recipe in half and have less, or make different colors of it. It's recommended that after you're done playing with it, that you keep it in either an airtight container or a plastic bag like this that zips up and will keep all of the air out of it, because you don't want it to ruin, but it'll last for a long time. Thank you. I want to show you one more time the recipe here. I have it written out. It's called Kool-Aid Play-Doh, and it has 2½ cups of flour, 1/2 cup of salt, 2 of the packets of unsweetened Kool-Aid powdered drink mix. You can use any flavor, 2 cups of boiling water, and 3 tablespoons of oil. And that is how you make the Kool-Aid Play-Doh. Thank you. Have a great time playing with it.